Hello class, this lesson is on finding the area of a regular shape. Make sure that this is the title in your notebook and you can start to draw this image right here as we go. So the first thing we need to do is identify what kind of shape we're dealing with. An irregular shape is any shape that's not basic. So this shape, as you can see, is two shapes put together. So when we tackle this problem, we're going to identify first that we have a rectangle and we have half of a circle. So I'm going to need the formula for a rectangle and a circle, but I only want half of that circle. So I'm kind of drawing this visual just so I can remember what I'm going for. Next thing I want to do is I want to write down my formulas. So the area of a rectangle is base times height, and the area of a circle is pi r squared. So I need these two formulas to help me through this problem. Okay, I want to tackle the rectangle first. This whole shaded area is going to be the area of my rectangle. So I have 19 times 12. Actually going to write it out and do the math. We're actually going to do it. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. Placeholder. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 1 is 1. Add. We have 228. Okay, so 228 feet is the area of my rectangle. Okay, but we're not done. All right, now I need to find the area of the circle and only use half of that. So let me minimize this so we have more space. And when you take your notes, make sure you have plenty of space for this. All right, so the area of a circle is pi r squared, as we can see here. And my circle, if I were to continue to draw this circle all the way around, oh, that's pretty bad, huh? There we go, the whole circle, the diameter would be 12. Diameter would be 12. So when I look at this value, I'm saying the diameter is 12. That means 12 divided by 2 is going to give me my radius. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 6 equals the radius. That's what I need to solve my formula. All right, now I'm going to plug in my numbers. So area equals pi 6 squared. And remember PEMDAS, I need to do the exponents first before I multiply. So my next line is going to be area equals pi. Now 6 squared really is saying 6 times 6. We've got to remember that. 6 times 6 is 36. Well, now I need to find a value to plug in for pi. Area equals, I'm going to stick with 3.14 times 36. I'm going to stick with some decimal multiplication. And in the space below, I'm going to do my math. Actually, I'm going to do it where I have more space. Over here. 3.14 times 36. 6 times 4, 24. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 2 is 8. 6 times 3 is 18. Placeholder. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. Add it all up. 4, 10, carry the 1. 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 4, 13. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus another 1 is 11. Okay, and now I'm also remembering I have 1, 2 jumps with my, oh, that was the wrong thing. I have 1, 2 jumps with my decimal point. Decimal point's supposed to be right there. So I need 2 jumps to identify my decimal point in my answer. 1, 2. So this is where my decimal point goes. Alrighty. So my answer for this circle, the total area is 113.04 feet squared. I forgot to say squared last time, but we're not done. This gives me the total area of the circle. And thinking back, I only want half. So now I need to divide my area by 2. Need to get some more space over here. Alright, so we have 113 and 4/100 divided by 2. Let's go through this really quick. 2 goes into 11 5 times. That gives us 10. Bring down. 2 goes into 13 6 times. That gives us 12. Bring down. 2 goes into 10 5 times. Exactly. Bring down. 2 goes into 4 2 times. Exactly. There's no remainders. I need to remember to bring up my decimal right here. So this gives me what? Let's think back. This gives me half of the area of the circle. Am I done yet? No, no. I have to go back and think about where I started. I started by finding this area of the rectangle. The area of the rectangle, if we go back and remember, it was 228 feet squared. And now I need to add that to what I just found with the area of half of my circle over here, 56 and 5200. So let's take those two values and add them up. 228 plus 56.52. Remember, when we're adding with decimals, this is the same as 228 is the same as 228.00. We need to align the decimals. We need to keep our decimals in a line. Remember that rule? Okay, now we're going to add. So this is still going to be 52/100. 8 plus 6, my poorly written 6, it's going to give me 14. And this is going to give me 8. And this is going to give me 2. So after all that work, all that time, I finally have my answer. Okay, my final answer is 284 and 52/100 feet squared. Okay, here we have another problem. This time, our shapes are different. We have a triangle and half a circle. So we need to think to ourselves, okay, this total area, the total area in here is going to be the area of a triangle plus, again, the area of half a circle. So identifying this first is going to help us keep track of our work. Okay, so these little models are just helping me understand what I need. I need the area of a triangle plus half of a circle. Okay, now my formulas. The area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Area of a circle, we just did pi r squared. So these are my special formulas that I need. This is how I'm going to find my answer. All right, let's start with the triangle. If I look at this, I can see the height is identified here by 14 centimeters because it is the distance from the vertex straight down to the base. The base is this line across. So you have to think of this as kind of a triangle flipped upside down. But this is the base, this is the height. We're going to multiply that and divide by 2. Okay, so plug in our formula. 1/2 base times height. Okay, 1/2 base times height. Now, I'm going to take this and do a part of this mentally in my head. 1/2 of 12. 1/2 of 12 I can do in my head. I know that's going to be 6, and that makes my problem a whole lot easier. 6 times 14 is all I have to do now. Well, that's pretty simple. Okay, let's multiply this out. 6 times 4, 24. 6 times 1 plus 2 is 8. 84. So 84 feet squared is the area of my triangle. It's the area of one piece of my irregular shape. Okay, now let's move on to find the area of my circle. Looking again at my circle, this line all the way across is the diameter. Do I want the diameter? No, I want the radius. So again, mentally, the diameter is 12. That means I know the radius is going to be 6. And I just divided 12 by 2 to get 6. So again, our radius is 6. This is what we need to plug in. All right, well, doesn't this look familiar to us? If I plug this back into my formula to find a circle, I would say the area is equal to pi 6 squared. 6 squared, that's 6 times 6. Wait a second, I just did this problem. So going back and using the work I already did, I already know that the area, the total area, is 113 and 4/100 feet squared. And I also know that half of this is 56.52 feet squared. Math is all about finding the shortcuts, people. So if we already did the work, we don't need to do it again. I've already solved for this. Brilliant. So now I take my two pieces, the area of half of my circle plus the area of my triangle, and add them together. So we're taking 56 and 52/100, adding it to our previous answer of 84. Need more space, so let's minimize. All right, 56 and 52/100 plus 84. Remember, these zeros after the decimal mean the same thing. Adding this up, 52 stays the same. And 6 plus 4 is 10. 5 plus 1 is 6. Plus 8 gives me 14. So my final answer is 140 52/100 feet squared. And we always want to remember the feet squared. Ooh, I made a mistake. This is centimeters squared. Okay, let's rewrite that. 140 and 52/100 centimeters squared.